Well, the labour market under President Biden remains tight. The December jobs report coming in stronger than expected, adding 216,000 jobs in the month, bringing the number of jobs added in 2023 to 2.7 million. Here with what this means for Biden in 2024 is Yahoo Finance's own Rick Newman. Hey, Rick.
Hey, Rochelle. I don't know that it means all that much for Biden. I mean, he has been trying to persuade Americans for many months now that the economy is solid and getting better. The data supports that. I mean, you just mentioned really strong job growth. I mean, we have had job growth literally every month that Biden has been president. That's 36 months in a row. Of course, inflation is the problem. And there's been an interesting pivot in the Biden campaign recently. They are signaling that President Biden is going to start the 2024 campaign season by emphasizing that he is the guy who can best protect democracy, not the economy. And that is a bit of a puzzling pivot because the old adage is still true. It's the economy, stupid. This is the number one thing that people vote on, whether they feel better off under the current president or they think they'd be better off under somebody new. And Biden is kind of like throwing his hands up in the air and saying, I give up. trying to campaign on the economy because it hasn't been working. His overall approval rating is pretty terrible. It's around 40% or even lower. His marks on handling of the economy are even a bit lower than his overall approval rating. And perhaps most worrisome for Biden and his supporters is that polls consistently show that people think Donald Trump would do a better job handling the economy than President Biden. So Biden needs something else to run against Donald Trump, his presumptive man he's going to run against in 2024 in the general election. I just don't know if voters are going to say, oh, democracy more important than the price of groceries or gasoline. But we're going to find out. Very interesting campaign coming up.
Indeed. And of course, January 6th tomorrow, we know that's going to be, of course, a hot topic here as people really are still divided down party lines, even if the economy is doing well, still not hitting home for people. So what do you think is going to be the message here as this campaign season then kicks off for President Biden and Vice President Harris?
Well, Biden for sure is going to try to take advantage of all of Trump's legal problems. And the polls suggest there's some hope there for Biden. There are some Trump supporters who say, yes, they want to vote for President Trump in the 2024 presidential election, but that could change if he is actually convicted of a crime. Now, we don't know that any of these four major criminal trials will actually get to the point where Trump there's actually a trial that results in an outcome. Trump is trying to delay many of those. Some of them are in appeals courts, including the Supreme Court. But that could change something. And that does get to, Biden saying, I'm the man to protect democracy. And if he can say, look at Donald Trump, he's now been convicted of something related to obstruction of justice, or there is another trial looking at his role in the January 6th riots. That could be it. But I think what Biden really is waiting for is just enough improvement in the economy. And that mostly means inflation coming down even lower and perhaps even declining prices that make people feel like they're regaining some of the ground they lost to inflation. Grocery prices are a big one for people. And even though the rate of inflation is now back down to the normal range, all the price increases of the last 2 years are still there. And people know it. People know that something costs $1 more than it used to, and they need to buy that every week. And they're not happy about that. So Biden still needs an improving economy to be able to persuade voters they should give him another 4 years. I just don't know if it's going to improve fast enough to change people's minds.